welcome to the Wolfchase Toyota Insider on the Memphis Tiger Network. I'm Jeff Brightwell alongside Natalie Poole, softball coach at the University of Memphis, fresh off a weekend in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, where Memphis played in LSU's Purple and Gold Challenge, 1-4 over the weekend, Coach. But you didn't play bad softball. You played pretty well. You picked up a win over Nicholls State, nearly pulled the upset of LSU. Overall, what were your thoughts of the weekend?
I thought that defensively we looked better. We made some good plays. We still made too many mistakes, but we definitely showed better signs. Offensively, we were a little bit better, but up and down, just not consistent, of course. And probably a few too many strikeouts for me. I definitely want to see some better quality at bats than what we're seeing at this point. But at times we showed some really positive tendencies, and so if I'm starting to see some better signs, that's definitely good. Pitching-wise, I thought that we did okay at times and okay we didn't. I thought Ellen threw our best as usual, but the other girls were just giving up a lot of walks. You know, we're giving up more walks than innings, and you know we're doing a good job of keeping runners at bay, but you know it eventually comes back to bite us.
Got the 3-2 win over Nicholls State, and that was a good win because Nicholls State's down in Thibodaux. They're not far away. They didn't have very far to travel for that tournament.
Absolutely, and Nicholls State's in the conference that I coached in before, and the coach that's there is doing a good job, and I know that he's working to build a program also, and so it was nice to be able to pick up the win. It was definitely a confidence booster. We needed to feel that, and we needed to be able to scrape through however it took, you know, to get that win.
Had a tough loss to LSU. Actually had the lead going into the 7th, but a 10th ranked team at home. That's probably a familiar situation. Everybody kind of goes at them, gives them their best performance. They were able to scratch out a couple runs late.
Absolutely, and they did that in a couple other games. They kept the game close and then just kind of came through at the end. And so, you know, that's what they're supposed to do, you know, but we definitely played a great game. It was probably the most spirited game that I've seen our girls play. There definitely was a lot of fight. I saw some good adjustments at the plate. We went through 3 of their pitchers. They eventually had to put their All-American in, and I thought we did a nice job. You know, it's just frustrating to not be able to pull it out at the end, but I was definitely proud of the girls for their performance.
Ellen Roberts really pitched a gutsy game. She was kind of under the weather. It's that time of year with the weather being up and down, and she didn't feel her best, but really had a nice outing.
Absolutely. Her and Sarah fought through a lot of fever this past weekend, and it was even questionable as to whether or not Ellen was going to be able to throw in the LSU game because her temperature was 100. And so we got some medicine in her and tried to get it down, and they were able to get her to throw. And you know, she did a great job considering, and I'm real proud of her because there was some fatigue there. She had slept half the afternoon and, you know, overeating and, you know, just trying to, you know, she chose sleep over eating. So we were just trying to get her through this game and get her energy up and be able to do it. She did a great job.
Morgan Mosby had a nice weekend. She was part of that all-tournament team.
Yeah, I'm proud of her because I definitely saw her do great things for us last year. She didn't necessarily get off to the greatest of starts last weekend, and I think she needed to be able to do well this weekend, and she had some better positive at-bats. She made better adjustments and ended up being an all-tournament player, and she definitely is well-deserved.
Amber Lindahl continues to play well behind the plate. She was 4 for 5 throwing out runners. That makes her 9 for 13. She now holds the career record at Memphis for throwing out runners.
Just pretty awesome. You know, I'm just continuing to be proud of her consistency back there, and just pleased with the ability to throw people out every day. And you know, that percentage is just unbelievable. I don't think I've ever coached a kid that had the ability to throw out that percentage of athletes running, and she's thrown out some kids with some good speed, and so I'm proud of her for that. I expect to see that throughout the remainder of the season, and hopefully it will dissuade some people from taking some leads and taking some bases on us.
You're going to have another busy weekend. You're coming home for your own tournament, the Blue City Classic. It'll be at Greenbrook Park down in Southaven this weekend. There are going to be 11 teams in the 3-day tournament. Kind of a homecoming. I don't know if many of the players have ever been down there, but it was the original home while the softball complex was being built here at Memphis. So kind of a chance to go back where everything started.
Absolutely. We definitely look forward to being back at home. And you know, we're only playing a game a day, so we won't be overloaded with games. We should be able to maintain being fresh rather than playing 5 games on the weekend. And we'll be playing Indiana State, Detroit, and SEMO. So should be a good weekend, some good competition, and the weather's supposed to be nice.
You talk about that tournament, and again, as you mentioned, Friday your game will be at 4 against Indiana State, Saturday also at 4 against Detroit, Sunday you play at 2:30 against Southeast Missouri State. But 11 teams in this tournament. How is the field? How do you feel about this tournament?
I think it's great. I think it's great that people want to come down to the city and us be able to host it, and we need to get the kind of attention that we're getting to get into this tournament. And so should be some great games, some great competition, and I look forward to it.
All right, Coach, as always, we appreciate it. We'll talk to you next week.
Thank you.
That is Natalie Poole, softball coach at the University of Memphis. I'm Jeff Brightwell for the Wolfchase Toyota Insider on the Memphis Tiger Network.